No, yeah, that is super fucking. Oh my god, I have to hit OK to my chat rules. That is super like on fucking point, Xenon.
Yeah.
And I also went through basically the same thing, except I instead of getting the accommodations, I forced myself to chameleon into it, where I got extremely good at
Masking.
like masking myself to seem quote unquote normal and
Yeah.
functional, and then it all fell apart in 6th grade. Like by
Mm-hmm.
the time I hit like end of 6th grade, I got a D, and it just all came crashing down
Yeah.
from there. And from there on, I was like CD student. I went from A to maybe a B every once in a while student to CD constantly for the rest of my
Mm-hmm.
school year or years after that, to the point where I didn't even graduate high school.
Yeah.
Like technically, I am a senior in high school, even though I've gone to college. But that was because I went to my college. They gave me like a what do you call like the placement test basically. Why isn't this fucking because I clicked off of it. Uh, they gave me a placement test and were like, okay, yeah, you scored way better than we ask for people to score on these. You're fine.
See, I think I took that test, and then they were like, "Wow, you're really bad at math," and that's
Oh,
why I had to take those remedial classes.
like were yours scored out of like the on like the 100-point
It
scale
was like
or
an
whatever?
They called it in
The
Texas, the
yes,
AccuPlacer.
the AccuPlacer. I took
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I got 120 plus on everything.
Okay, I don't remember the scores, but they were
I
like.
still have it somewhere in the closet.
I
Like,
had to
it's a
take.
torn up old
I think
card.
it was 3 semesters of remedial math classes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a math guy.
I'm not a math gay, and also, there's a. I can talk about my high school some other time, but anyway, I was pretty much taught math for my junior year of high school. Was taught by a man with a degenerative disease. I don't know if it was Alzheimer's or dementia. What's the category of that? Degenerative mental disorder, yeah. So I was taught math by someone like with that, and so I really didn't learn a lot of math. And also it was like homeschool math,
Dart
so
is the
I
most
didn't get taught
oblivious
anything unless I asked
You're
for it.
Dart, babe. He's just as oblivious as you are.
But
It's bad.
Zenon, I'm really sad to hear about your experience, and I'm not surprised to hear about it. School is not designed for people with disabilities, not designed for people of color, especially black people, not designed for anyone who doesn't fit a very specific mold.
Oh shit. Okay, wait. We got a fucking match thing. I have to pay attention to this. You keep going.
And even with special education, it's messed up. Just the special education system is messed up. I am in it because I believe it can change, and I believe it needs to. People who believe it needs to change need to be in it in order for it to change. But so much of what I see and so much of what is the norm is not actually helping people, or helping people, especially like, okay, so if you're autistic, then the skills you learn a lot are you're being taught, you're just essentially being taught to mask, which then, not from my own personal experience, but what I know from other people, which is exhausting, is having to mask all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's so much effort. Just like people have told me that it's so much effort if eye contact's hard from them to have to look at people in the eye. That uses so much effort that they can't even sometimes focus on what someone's saying to them because they're focusing so much on looking in the eye.
Yeah.
And so what is the point of teaching someone this skill if it's not actually helping them?
Because society says so.
Because society wants you to be quote unquote normal. They don't want to have to deal with your disability. They don't want to have to deal with the fact that people are different. If you're acting in a way that they're not used to and they're uncomfortable, then you need to stop. It's not that they need to change their thoughts and attitudes and maybe learn about other people who are different. It's you need to change. And that's not... Yeah, even if things are going well in schools,
God,
it's not designed for... It's designed for people to learn in a very specific way. And if you can't learn in that way, then you're SOL. And what I've seen a lot is like there's been changes, so many changes in the way that like they're teaching certain things. I've seen in school like the way that the common practice now to teach math is so different from how I was taught that I hope, I hope that as more and more research is done, that we're getting to a place where we're actually knowing that everyone's learning needs are diverse. Even people who don't have disabilities don't all learn the same way. Like, not everyone learns the same way. You don't. But we're all taught the same way. You had a teaching aid your entire schooling. Was it helpful to you? Like, was it ever helpful? Was there a time where it ceased to be helpful? I'm curious about that.
Also, I am definitely way too old to have been taught any new shit. My textbooks were from, like, the year I was born.
Well, yeah, no. And I mean, I wasn't taught this way either. But
yeah,
the way I was taught math was, here's this one equation. This is how you do it. And this is the only way to solve it. This is how you do it. Now, what people are moving towards is, okay, here's the problem. How are you going to solve it? And then people come to the conclusion, they solve it in different ways. Then you discuss it. And then people all learn different ways to solve the problem. Like,
sure.
Maybe I learned it using A strategy, and they used B strategy, and they used C strategy. And C strategy is kind of like mine, but it has a shortcut in it that I really like. Or this one has a trick that I like. And that way, it's showing that there's not only one way to solve the problem, there's all different ways. Which I think I could have really benefited from in math. Because like I was talking about when I streamed yesterday, studying so hard to get those equations and then not having that equation in my head, I didn't have a way to solve the problem any other way. I couldn't use like critical math thinking skills on how to solve it because I wasn't taught to. And it wasn't something that I had an innate ability to do.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck. Like,
so that's the new math thing.
Yeah, that definitely was not my era was 6 times 7.
Memorize the tables.
This is how you No, we got the math
minute. Timer? Did you do the timer?
Yes, math minutes.
Yes, uh-huh.
That was so traumatic.
Every morning?
That shit
oh my gosh.
fucks with you. Here, we're gonna put a fucking 30-second timer. Do every single one of these problems.
And
if you
I would
don't,
get so competitive.
You have to do it again.
I'd get so competitive. I was like, I want to do the most problems, and then I'd get
fucking
so mad if someone else did more problems than me. Oh, so it made school competitive.
Shit out of me. Fucking goddamn fucking bullshit. I'm just thinking about school, and I'm just like, I hate everything.
So when I went to college and I had to take, after I took all those remedial math courses in college algebra, then I went into a special education program. I now had to take different math, which was like, pretty much you only took this class if you were going into education. And what it was they taught you in the way I just described. But they didn't tell me they were going to teach me like this. Instead, the teacher came in every day, he wrote a problem on the board, and he was like, solve it. And then I was like, what do you mean solve it? You didn't tell me how to do it. I don't know what to do. And I'd sit there and I'd be thinking and I'd be trying to find a way to do it. And then we'd come together at the end and people would share. And I had to take 2 semesters of that. And it was so hard because I had spent my entire life up to that point. I was in school pretty much straight the whole way through, doing math one way. And killing my confidence in it. Feeling like I sucked. And then being taught this new way to, given the chance to think critically, but being like, how do I think? What do you mean? You didn't tell me, no one taught me how to do this.
That dude's just full of spears. Yeah, no, it just sucks. Like, the way that, and I'm glad to hear that they're kind of moving away from
moves so slow, though. Yeah.
They're moving away from the whole, like, no, you learn it this exact way, and promoting some, like, critical thinking and problem solving.
Well, and it also probably depends on, like, what district you're in, what school, what teacher.
Yeah, it would massively depend on all that.
Your administration, the principals, like, what their views are on, what kind of, like, professional development they want you to take. Like, it's all dependent on the community you're in. And actually, when I was in college, we had my professor taught us actual lessons. We had role plays we had to do about what to do
You had to RP?
We had to RP about what to do if you hate another teacher's teaching style and you're like, this is not good, you need to change. How to go about it. How to go about, like, saying, hey, I think we really need a new curriculum. Luckily, so far, my first 2 years, I've been with admin that had curriculum that were following, like, the current research and best practice, which is good. In a district that was, for the most part, I think, moving toward it. But I'm going to a new school in a new district, teaching a new grade. So, online. I don't know what. I'm going to be teaching preschool online. I've never taught preschool. I don't know any of the curriculum. I'm so scared. How do you get 3 and 4-year-olds to pay attention? I don't know.
You don't.
Yes, I know. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
You don't. Like, straight up, you don't. Like, they're not old enough and their brains aren't built for that
Which
yet.
is why, like, as soon as pre-K is going to be the first thing to come back. And the first thing to come back full-time.
I hate it. I hate it. Little germ factories are the ones that we should definitely have all in the same place.
I love little kids. I taught kindergarten before this, but kindergarten and pre-K they're very similar, but they're also very different.
They're very different though, because like that year or two of development for that kid is a fucking night and day difference.
And kindergarten to first grade is so different.
Oh yeah.
My kids from last year, I was like, look at you, you're practically like an adult.
Like yeah.
Like look at you, you're reading a whole book. Oh my god.
You can form coherent sentences and have cognitive thoughts.
You're not throwing chairs anymore?
You're not throwing up all over anymore?
Oh my god.
You can mostly use the bathroom? Like
Mostly.
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 I said mostly for a reason. I know. I've raised my sister, I know. But yeah, like it's just one of those things that pre-K is a cool concept.
Yeah.
Fucking what?
Not during a pandemic, though.
Well, yes. And it is good, like, I say it, the word enrichment just feels really wrong because we use it for animals.
I know, I mainly think about the zoo.
But also, like, it's good enrichment for little kids to learn how to interact with other kids socially.
Pre-K is literally, the biggest thing is socialization.
Yeah, it's learning to socialize with other human beings.
It even, I would say, is the biggest thing in kindergarten, too, except now they put so much pressure.
Yes.
On so much academics when the kids aren't ready for it. Blah, 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 blah. I could talk about school forever.
All of my thoughts on school stem from my own time and stuff like that. So a lot of it I don't remember.
Yeah.
But like
your poor little
the
brain.
The rest are so probably outdated.
Yeah.
Because
but
like,
they're still valid.
In high school, I legitimately had a fucking Hey,
yay,
good.
Negative. Oh, but yay.
I mean, hey, at least it's not COVID.
No, yes. And hopefully, whatever it is, there's a lot more research done in it.
Oh yeah, pages fucking suck, or papers suck.
I could never.
I
could
could
never
write a paper.
No, they'd say like 4 pages, right? And so the idea is 4 full pages. I'd get it onto the 4th page, and I'm like, woo, 4 sheets of paper. I did it.
I can't even do that. Like, I love creative writing. I cannot fucking do
essays. It's because also, oh my god, talking about formulas, I was taught a formula sometime, one of the most basic times where they're teaching you how to write essays, and it was like, you know, introduction, your paragraphs, your body paragraphs are like each a separate main idea, and then for some reason, somehow. Someone told me something along the lines of, your conclusion is like your introduction stated backwards.
Yeah, basically.
And I internalized that, and I'm in college writing essays.
Oh no, did you just straight up
where my
like,
conclusion
do that?
is my introduction written backwards, and the professor's like, I kind of feel like this is just your introduction written. This is just your introduction again.
Oh,
and I was
honey,
sitting there reading the note like,
no.
am I not supposed to do that?
No.
Because then I went into a public school, blah, blah, blah. I mean, into a private school, which was very different, did not have standards. I mean, they did have standards, but they didn't have to follow, like, academic standards. And so then I wasn't really taught how to write, and especially how to write, like, for standardized tests. For someone, I loved writing so much. My SAT score, my writing SAT score was abysmal. I mean, like, I had, like, good average scores and everything else, and then my writing score you had like a writing questions, like multiple choice section, and then an essay part. My writing multiple choice, I'm like aced it so good, and then the essay was just horrible. You know why? Part of it, I just wrote my introduction backwards. They're like, who is this person?
Yeah, you go on, Mom. Yeah, I just... Oh, God. Yeah, like, I can write a paper all fucking day. It's not that I can't. I hate doing it.
I have so many panic
like
attacks about writing essays.
I don't like writing essay. Like, if I can concentrate, like, if I had my fucking Adderall back...
Golden.
No, like, legitimately, it's one of those things where I was considering saving some for... Because there's a few different essays. Like, I want to write one on the importance of play to adults.
Yes.
And the only reason I haven't... I've started it, like, 6 times, and I cannot focus long enough to write it. But it is a topic I want to.
Yeah.
If it is something I don't want to write about, I don't want to write about the fucking Spanish War or something. I don't give a fuck about writing a 3-page paper on that. Or on
You had to
Kill
write
a
history
Mockingbird.
papers?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I had to write history papers,
Did
English,
you write history
everything.
papers, Bella? You are a history major, that's right. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Everyone
like,
had. I did not have to write a history paper.
You got fucking lucky.
Thank God. I guess that was a perk of going to that private school, was no history papers.
Also, your head is hitting the microphone multiple times.
Sorry, guys.
No, I went the wrong way.
I also agree with writing concisely, Xenon, because I'd get also notes in my papers and from the professors, and they'd say, like, expand more on this. I'm like, no, I said what I meant. I wrote, and I meant what I said, and Elephant's faithful 100%. Little Dr. Seuss in there for you.
Yeah, I mean,
you...
like, I 100% understand that. There's a reason I didn't finish college.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly, Xenon. Like, I wrote what I thought about this. That's all I needed to write.
I wrote my thought. What do you mean, say more?
You have all of the information that I...
Yeah. And they never told me exactly what... They never told me, like, give me a formula. What's the sentence I should write?
Like,
they didn't give me a formula, so how do I know how to expand upon it?
I would legitimately always just kind of... Like, I would write out what I could, because it would be all I did, and then all I would do is basically take information from later or earlier and just kind of rewrite it in different sentences, basically, across the entire paper. So I would write, like, a paragraph on, how the Spanish War started, and then I would talk about a paragraph on how it continued, and then I would talk about how it ended. And then I would take information about how it started and put it in, like, in the how it ended section, and how it ended was somewhere near the end of the middle section.
Did you get called out for it?
No. I got A's on all my papers.
Oh my god.
And it was just the same little bits of information regurgitated over and over, because that's what they fucking wanted.
Oh.
That's all the teachers wanted. They just wanted you to show that you could regurgitate this information that they told you and had you read in a book.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so in my high school, my private high school was affiliated with a private Catholic college, and we had to take some of the classes. And so I took one that was it was called Epics, and we had to read some of, like, epic novels. And for one of them, I think the Odyssey, I wrote my essay, and I kind of, like, wrote about, not necessarily themes that the teacher talked about, but things that I thought about. And my comments, like, I got an okay grade. And the comments were like, I don't think that, they were pretty much like, I don't agree with, like, your themes that you notice in this. So what I did for the next thing is we had, like, a 3-hour class once a week of this older lady whose makeup had not changed since the 80s. Like, heavy purple eyeshadow, talking in a monotone voice for 3 hours. I wrote down everything she said. And then when we did essays, I literally just wrote in the essay everything she said. And she just agreed with me and gave me 100s. Yep. I didn't have to think. I didn't even have to read the book.
That's the design of school, though. You're not actually supposed to think. It's regurgitating information that they... Like, it's especially during our time growing up, before things started really changing. like that whole essay that somebody wrote a long time ago about how school is just designed to put you into a factory.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally what it is.
Yeah.
It was designed for you to learn how to listen, follow instructions, and regurgitate them backwards, not actually intake information.
Mm-hmm.
I could not tell you shit that I learned in my history class, but I can tell you the exact way that the fucking teacher wanted things written.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you how my social societies teacher.
I kept thinking you were going to say Social Security.
No, but I can tell you how my social studies teacher. Now you've got me almost
So
saying
sorry.
Social Security. Wanted me to write out the answers to the questions on things, because that's what they want you to retain,
Yeah.
not the actual information. Because if you retain the information and then you learn more shit, then you go, wait, that's wrong.
And teachers don't want to be told that they're wrong.
Oh God, I corrected a teacher one time, and the class got held over by a half hour because the teacher just went on about how you're supposed to respect your teachers and listen to what they say.
Well, and especially being black, I'm
And-
sure that was even worse.
And it was funny because the next day I came in with an updated fucking book because my cousin at a better school had them, and I went over to his house. I was like, I need your fucking
I need
your
to show
it was
my
Earth
teacher.
Sciences.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I brought it in and I showed him and I was like, fucking this, Mr. Peterson. And he refused to speak to me for the rest of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Like straight up. Like just refused to speak to me.
Yeah.
And because it's not about teaching a lot of the time.
Well,
It's not about making sure that people learn that's
Yeah.
something that's correct. It's making sure that they learn to do a thing correctly.
yes. A thing we've talked about too is that, like, a big thing,
The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
gases expand to fill their container.
Mr. Peterson was a hyper-religious asshole. There was a time when someone tried to divide something and they came up with 66.6 as the answer, and he went on a 45-minute rant about how that's the number of the devil and stuff.
I wonder how he'd do now with, like, Kahoot
That dude
and all
is
the
super
names
dead.
people could do.
That dude is super fucking dead. He was old as shit when I was in high school, and that was
A while ago.
14 years ago. No, God, no, because this was freshman year, so it'd be 15 years ago.
You're just sitting here.
See, these like okay. So hey, if you like these kinds of conversations, you see that bar up at the top there, the one that is trying to get $7,500, so that we can all four of us get a place together, and then this can happen all the fucking time. And then also, Peach could have a room that they could go to and not have to hear us. I mean, Sam just has a pillow over his head, so. Oh, you have a migraine?
Oh.
Oh, Sam has a migraine.
Sorry. Migraines suck.
Wait, I went the super fucking wrong way, didn't I? Oh god, old video games. Why do you allow this? Oh yeah, we haven't been back here since we got Shauna back. Huh.
Shauna, I missed her.
What? That doesn't even make sense. A whole town got burned down so they could kidnap her.
Wow, she must be really important.
She super is, actually. It's really, really just ridiculous. This entire story is... It's so bad, but I love this game so much. She hasn't seen the town burn down yet. I forgot that this would happen.
Oh, so it's a serious moment.
Oh yeah, the serious music is playing.
Mm-hmm. I also wish I hadn't been depressed for my entire schooling experience.
Wish I wasn't depressed now.
Womp, womp, womp.
I really need to call my fucking therapist. I keep forgetting to. She sent me a letter.
In the mail?
Yeah.
Was it like, please come back?
Well, no, it was because last time when we were supposed to have an appointment, I ended up, my phone service got cut off because we didn't have money. And since then, we have not, like, talked. And she sent me a letter and was like, hey. And I was like, oh yeah, I should probably really call you. I keep meaning to.
Oh yeah, I have a therapist. That sounds like a really cool final paper, Amanda. I loved... So in different places in the country, and I'm sure the world too, they call it different things, but I was placed into what they called gifted and talented, which makes you sound like you're so special. Which here is called highly capable, which also, it's like, what are all the other kids?
Capable.
You're just capable. And being in those classes, the main difference was that you had so much more project-based learning, and you got to choose from all these different options of how you wanted to present your learning. And that's something that needs to be done more in just school in general, and not just for, like, the kids who happen to take IQ tests well.
Yeah, and like honestly, I kind of like the highly capable wording a lot more than gifted.
Oh, it's so much better than gifted and talented.
Oh yeah,
because then it's like, oh, what are my gifts? I can read fast.
You're gifted. You are blessed with this extra knowledge.
All these other poor
these
fools,
poor normies are not as gifted as you. Like highly capable, yes. Like I am highly capable in specific areas, and I am definitely not in others.
Yes.
And that is so much easier to say and think than I'm gifted.
Well, then you're told you're gifted and talented, but
then
I couldn't.
It fucks you up.
I could not understand percentages. Yeah. So how gifted and talented am I if I can't do like these basic math concepts they're teaching?
It's one of those things that it's one of the reasons why I will say I am not a smart person, and people will argue with that with me and shit all the time. No, I am not. I have learned a specific set of things that you have not learned, but that does not make me smarter than you. And
well, also, how do you measure smarts too?
And like, but I also do not see it as something that is hard to learn, and it is not. Like,
you just have to want to learn it. I think.
Like people who don't have experience with like building a computer, look at it and go, "That is fucking impossible to do." I don't know what anything is. I don't know how to do it. Sam built his with zero experience, and I had to help him twice with something. And they were both confusing things that are not easy to do. That would take a little bit of practice or tutorializing for. But otherwise, you can look at it and with basic problem solving, figure out 95% of it. I am not smart for knowing how to do this. I am just practiced in this. And people saying like, oh, you're so smart, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I am practiced. I am practiced in WoW lore. I am not smart. I know shit because I've played that game for 16 years and I played the games previous to it.
Xenon, I completely agree with you. Intelligence is fake, and it was invented for racism and ableism.
Yes, absolutely.
One thing, like, I feel grateful that I was in the gifted and talented classes because, I learned things in a way that was individualized and kind of like how most people should be taught in general, you know? And I had that experience just because I was able to score high on an IQ test.
Yeah. And I did too when I was a kid.
And even, like, they'll tell you, like, different people will say IQ is fixed, different people will say that it's not fixed, and you don't, like, your IQ isn't fixed until, like, you're 8 years old. Why is it fixed when you magically turn 8 years old?
It's not.
What is it? What do you mean? Oh, suddenly I'm 8 and I'm as smart as I'm ever gonna be? What?
No, because that whole concept is like BMI. It's completely fucking fake and racist.
Yeah, and it is racist. The SAT is racist.
Oh, the SAT is incredibly.
Yeah, but standardized tests are racist. IQ tests are racist. IQ test, a basis of receiving a lot of services in special education, is racist and ableist, and I hate it. Thankfully, I'm not someone who has to. I'm not I can't think of the word right now. I've been out of school so long. Not the psychiatrist. You don't have a psychiatrist. Yeah, you have a school psych. I'm not a school psych, so I don't have to give those tests.
I can never remember. Psychiatrist is the one that can prescribe meds. Psychologist is the one that cannot.
There we go.
I always have to remember. I always have to remember which one's which because why do those have to be so fucking similar? God damn it.
Yeah, I'm not a school psychologist. There we go. There
Yeah.
are no such thing as school psychiatrists.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
God, but also maybe that could be useful. I don't know.
That actually could really be useful because a lot of stuff requires a psychiatrist to do. Like,
And you have to
cannot-
like depend on them getting outside services,
Yeah.
which they might not be able to afford. Blah 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 blah.
Like, I can't get it back on Adderall because the doctor who prescribed it to me was a temporary doctor and did not leave a prescription for my actual doctor when she came back after her maternity leave. So she can't prescribe it because the original prescribing doctor didn't leave it. And she can't just go, okay, yeah, you can do it too.
Because it's a controlled substance, yeah.
And so I have to now talk to a psychiatrist who there is only one for the doctor I go to. He is located across town and has an opening once every 5 months.
Woo!
And I missed my chance at last month.
Don't you love mental health services?
Because I forgot that I had the
I know.
appointment.
Oh my God, I can't believe that. But that's also such an ADHD thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this is evidence. This is my evidence. I didn't show up. I don't need the test anymore.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where it's like, I straight up forgot. And so I have to, hey, Lexi. So now I have to wait. I have to contact them, wait, find out when I can get back in, probably next year. And then maybe I will be able to do the test and hope that I don't pass it. Because the tests have changed since I was a kid.
Now you want to
I don't
fail
know.
it instead of pass it? Meanwhile, I went to a psychiatrist and she was like, here, I want you to think about these words. Apple, window, and then like beach ball. And I was like, got it. And then she asked me a bunch of other questions about like my habits
then
and
had you
things.
remember-
And then she's like, what are those 3 words I said? And I was like, apple, window, beach ball. And she's like, yeah, you have ADHD. And I was like, I think I do, but I'm not so sure about this method. But
No,
I
actually,
got
that
the
one does
medication.
work
Oh, it
because,
does?
yeah, no, that's the same one that I got because they are asking you to focus on one thing, and I bet you couldn't tell her anything else outside of apple, window, beach ball. Anything else she talked about, I bet you fucking wouldn't remember because you were so hyper focused on remembering.
I mean,
the
I
things she
answered her.
asked you
I
to.
answered her questions, but I was not focused on them.
Exactly.
I was like,
and that
I
is
got it.
how, like, a normal person who doesn't have ADHD, a fucking functionally, like, not neurodivergent person would go.
Neurotypical, yeah.
Yeah, neurotypical person would literally just be like, oh, I don't remember. We were talking about other stuff, and I kinda
Oh, I forgot. Silly me.
Yeah, and you, with your ADHD ass brain, were like, I must remember this.
I
will
will.
forget. I was told to remember this. I will forget if I don't focus on this. Yeah, you know, answer the question. Yep, good question. Apple, window, beach ball.
I did it. I did my test.
I did the thing. Yeah, I did the thing. Like that's how it fucking goes.
Yeah.
And that's the same test I got when I was younger too.
You know, there's like an hours long test. You have all these
Yes.
questions. The standardized one. It can cost like over $1,000 to take this test.
Yep.
So there's also that discrepancy in.
I
testing
I
you
also
take.
have memory issues now, and that's kind of my worry too. Because since I last got tested, I had a stroke and my short-term memory is fucked. So I'm not sure how that test is going to go.
Yeah, if you have multiple irons in the fire.
Yeah, I have just a few.
Just a couple, just 1 or 2 irons.
And also, I stopped my lithium a while back, so I don't know what that's gonna do.
So is that like a flaming pinwheel in the fire?
I am just a flaming pinwheel.
You are the flaming pinwheel. There
Yeah.
are no irons.
Oh yeah, no, ADHD and depression,
Baby.
and hell, depression itself can just manifest like ADHD.
Also, depression itself can cause memory problems.
Well, yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
But it also can, like, Sam doesn't have ADHD. It's just depression and anxiety.
Depression symptoms, yeah.
Manifesting like ADHD.
Meanwhile,
because
my
the
ADHD
brain is a fucking
causes
disaster.
my depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, I think my manic episodes are not actually manic episodes. I think they may just be, like, hyper-focused things.
Well, then, do you think you're actually bipolar too?
Well, that's what they think. That's what they already think it is.
But without
but
manic?
I think I am not actually bipolar. I think it might just be depression with mania caused by hyperfocusing because of my ADHD
And autism.
and autism, but mostly the ADHD hyperfocus.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, that hyperfocus, it is such a blessing
it's
and such a curse.
You have no idea how many hours I put into WoW in the past week because it's now my hyperfocus.
Yeah.
Literally, it's all I do. Because it's the one thing that I'm like, okay, well, I paid $15 for this, so I need to get all of the money I can out of it.
Yeah.
So time to hyperfocus, and everything else has suffered.
I 100%. When I was playing Mass Effect, that was all I did.
I could tell. I saw you whenever you were playing. I could see it on Discord, and you were playing.
I like didn't even talk to Bella that much.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, "Hey, what's up? You doing okay?
In the first
All right,
2
great."
weeks of our marriage, you just played Mass Effect.
All I did was
Why?
play
On
video
couch.
games and ignore my snife.
Yes, also, yes, the money efficiency. That's why one of the reasons why I don't want to get back into 14 and why I kind of want to stick with WoW, because I can play WoW for free and I can't do it with 14.